All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ingage Classroom Customizing Made Easy. We're very excited to have you with us today as we roll out a couple of big updates to make your life easier as you build Engage content. My name is Pam Torrey. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Engage, and I will be your host and facilitator today. Most of you are very familiar with how we use Zoom for our webinars, but I just want to go over a few things to make things simpler. Number one, we are recording this session and we'll be sending it out. It will also be available on our YouTube channel tomorrow for easy viewing and easy sharing. If you have any questions during the course of this session, please feel free to utilize the Q&A function. If you roll your mouse over the screen where you see the Engage presentation, you should see a toolbar at the bottom. Click on the Q&A button and you can put your questions in. That way, if we have to take things offline, if there's a question that's really specific, we'll know who asked it and we can follow up with you. Feel free to use the chat feature if you have any comments or technical issues during the course of the webinar. We do have some resources from Engage on today who can give you some help there. So you may see Morgan Vera responding. If you see Morgan responding, she is our events manager and will be there to help you out with any Zoom related issues you might be having. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started today. Let's dive on into our agenda. So we have two main updates that we're going to be discussing with you all today. First, we have our QuickStart appointment confirmation template. Many of you may have seen the QuickStart appointment confirmation template in our content marketplace and might be interested in how this could help you out with your business and just wondering a little bit more about what QuickStart means. And then we have some updates to our button styles and actions that are going to make your content creation life a lot simpler. Before we dive on into these two topics, I do want to introduce my cohorts today, the folks who are here to help demo our updates and answer any questions you might have. First of all, we have Alex Saretzky, who is our product designer. Many of you know and love Alex from our Engage 101 series on YouTube and previous Engage classrooms. We also have Jim Rutherford, who's our Director of Product and Engineering. Jim will be here to answer any questions you have and also to provide us with some context for a couple of really important notes that we have towards the end of the classroom. So Alex, can you take it away and show us how the QuickStart appointment confirmation works? Where do our customers find it? How do they use it? How can it be applied to their business?
Yeah, thanks, Pam. Let me hop in and share my screen. So, well, you can all see that. So I'm here inside Teams. So you can either access this on your browser at teams.engage.io or inside the Engage app for desktop or iPad by choosing the Manage option over in the left-hand side. And of course, this is inside the marketplace. And this is our new QuickStart template for the appointment confirmation presentation. And so what's really nice about this is you're going to be able to customize the presentation super quickly without having to even open it inside Engage. And the way you're going to do that is by hitting this customize button and then answering just a few questions. And I'll walk you through it and show you how easy it is. So first, you can give your presentation title. And then we're going to customize it by adding some information about our sales rep. So let's choose a picture of John Fletcher here, and we'll give him a quick bio. Hi, I'm John. And we'll see all that show up inside the presentation. Next, we can choose a logo. And what's really cool is that it's going to take this logo and put it throughout the presentation. So anywhere in the presentation, there's a company logo, it's going to use this one that I provided. Next, in the presentation, there's a spot that showcases project photos. And so I'll just choose a couple of photos and upload those. And it'll just automatically take these photos, drop it into the presentation, and make it available. Lastly, there's a spot for a closing message. So just drop in a little one here. And of course, you can skip any of these steps if you're not ready to write it. You can edit them later. It's a fully editable Engage presentation. This is just, as the name implies, QuickStart. It's a way to get you in there quickly. So next we'll choose a theme. So I've got my company theme here, which has my brand colors and my brand fonts. Of course, we want everything matching everything, from our shirts to our trucks to our website. And lastly, it'll just ask me where I want to add the presentation inside my Engage account. So I'll choose the drafts team. Now the magic happens. It's going to create the presentation, customize it with those photos and all that text I provided it, and drop it into the account. Going to upload the images, and boom, there we are. So it's in the account. It's saved to drafts. If we want to take a look at it, you can just hit this button here to create a web link for it. And now the presentation is on the internet. Let's take a look at it. And just a second while it generates the website for the first time. And so here we go. Meet your rep. There's John Fletcher. And hi, I'm John. So all of our customizations already dropped inside here into the presentation. You can see, we've got the gallery, all those photos we selected there. They're all in here. And so this is a really fast way to customize the appointment confirmation and get you started. Of course, you can always go back inside the Engage app on desktop or iPad and make additional customizations to it. But we think this is a really awesome way to quickly get started with the appointment confirmation.
That's
so
great.
yeah.
Alex, just for some clarification for folks. So when you go into the content marketplace, how will you know that this one is the QuickStart version? Is it labeled?
Yes, it's labeled. We've got a big
Great.
featured banner. I can show it real quick.
Wonderful. Yeah, we have
if you're in
two
the content
versions.
marketplace, you'll see kind of this fast for anyone who's used a VCR, a DVD player. Yeah, you'll recognize like the fast forward icon. So when you see that, punch that one, and you'll get the QuickStart version of it.
Great. So this is available right now for our customers to go into the content marketplace and customize and start using today. Wonderful. So Alex, we have some updates around our buttons and actions. So I know a lot of our content creators are really excited about this and would love to see what you have up your sleeve here.
Yeah, this is one I'm especially excited about. Anyone who spends a lot of time developing content inside Engage will know that buttons are one of our most powerful features. There's a million ways to use them. It's a real differentiator for Engage compared to other presentation software, but buttons have had some shortcomings. You may have had to use hotspots in the past to make things interactive and then it's kind of cumbersome because you have to hide the hotspot or remove it when you want to edit the thing behind it. We don't love that. Sometimes it can be difficult to precisely position buttons, and they've been really limited in terms of style, right? You've been able to choose a color for them, but you can't change the font, you can't change the corner radius or do a border or a drop shadow. The numeric inspector has been unavailable for people like myself who like to be very precise with things. And point of interest buttons, again, you could choose one color, choose some icons, but you can do your own custom icons. Well, I'm very excited to say that now you'll have total control over your button style. You can do whatever you want. You can go crazy with buttons, and it's so easy. It's exactly what you're hopefully expecting. So let's do a demo. Here I am inside Engage on desktop, and we'll go to the plus button and we'll add a button just like we've always been able to. And so let's add a media button. You can see we get button added to the page, and our snap guides work perfectly. The first thing you might notice about the button is that it's got a little orange pill underneath of it. And so if I click that, that lets me edit the buttons action. So here we've got media pop-up. A lot of folks have had trouble relabeling buttons because in the past, the control for that was off to the side. Now you can just double click and edit buttons title, super easy. The other great thing is now we've got our handles. So if there's a specific width you want the button to be, you can just go and drag to set that. You'll see over here on the right-hand side, we've got all the same styling options that you would find on a text box. So if you want to have a very specific appearance for your button, you can do that. You can go in and change the corner radius. Let's say you need to have very sharp corners, or maybe your branding calls for something like very rounded corners. Now you can set all of those things. You can also, of course, add a border, if you want to do something like that. We also have shadow. So really you've got total control over the appearance of your rectangle buttons, while still maintaining all of the functionality that we've had available in the past. Now let's take a look at our point of interest buttons. And so again, you add them just like you always have added them. You go to the plus menu, come down here, we'll choose one of these guys. And you'll find, again, that we've really given you all of the styling options that you might ever want. You can choose an icon, right? So we've got a whole collection of icons to choose from. You can also choose your own transparent PNG. So if you want to design your own icons for your buttons, you can do that. And now we give you, total control over the button's appearance. So if you want to do something like have, a color in the background and, a solid color here, you can add, drop shadows to it if you want to. You can also use the numeric inspector or the handles to change the size of it, right? So let's say you need bigger touch targets. You can do that as well. And, really exciting that you now have total control over the styling of all of the point of interest buttons.
That's great, Alex. I really think about that from the perspective of someone who's put a lot of effort and time into building out a great website, and they have an icon they use on their website.
Totally.
It looks like we can now have that imported as a custom button icon for your Engage presentation.
Yeah, we know that it's really important for our customers to have a presentation that matches the rest of their branding. And so, little things like making sure your brand colors are used consistently, having the right fonts everywhere, all those things add up to make a really cohesive brand experience. Next thing, super excited about, is a brand new feature we call actions. So previously, if you wanted to do something like make these circles tappable, you would go up to the plus button and you would add a hotspot. And then, as I mentioned, you'd have the hotspot and that's kind of manage it. Now you can just make the circle itself tappable by selecting it and then going up to the action tab, choosing that, and then pressing this nice big button that says add action. And so these are all the same actions that have been available as buttons, but you can apply them to any object. So now we've turned our family-owned circle into a button, right? And so now when you tap on it, and it's really nice, is unlike with a hotspot, as you move it around the page, you're reducing the number of layers there. And so anything can be tappable. You can choose whether or not it has that little loop, the little pulse animation. So it's a really powerful feature. We're using it on all of the new content we developed for the marketplace. And we think it's really going to help in making presentations easier to edit in the future.
Great. Thank you, Alex, for showing that. I think that a lot of folks are going to find great value in being able to just have objects that will do the action they're looking for and won't have to layer the hotspots on top of them. I can just see how this is going to make my day easier with creating presentations.
Then no update would be complete without the ability to set your defaults in themes. So of course you can come into your theme and set your default colors and icon and fonts and all those things. for all the buttons you add. That way, as you're creating your presentation, you out of the box get a very consistent experience between your different buttons. I do have one more cool feature to show you. So you might be wondering, but Alex, what about all of the buttons in my presentation? Can I add the new styles to them? And it's super simple. This is one of our existing buttons, with the more limited styling options. All you have to do is right click it and choose this option called Convert to Freestyle, and it'll duplicate the button, drop it right next to it, and then you can go and you get all the new styling options that are available to you. And so, in a couple of clicks, you can go and delete your old button, and you get your new buttons. Yeah, and super exciting. All the things you're gonna be able to do with the new buttons. Yeah, thank you. Definitely reach out if you have questions when you're using the buttons with styles and actions, and we really cannot wait to see what kinds of amazing things you'll do with this.
Great. Thank you so much, Alex, for that demo. I'm going to hop back in and start sharing again. And so we have Jim here to help us out with making sure that your app and your iOS are updated. So as we always do at the end of one of our Engage classrooms, we want to make sure that you are updating your desktop and iOS apps. We also have a note for everybody today on updating your iOS on your iPad. So Jim, can you help our customers to understand why we need to do that?
Sure. So let's start with updating our iPad and desktop apps. The product and engineering team is constantly making improvements to our platform. So about every 2 weeks to 4 weeks, you'll see a new update from both our Mac apps, our Windows apps, and our iPad apps. So in order to get the latest features like button actions, it's really important that you keep your clients up to date. And even if every now and again we find a bug fix or we find a bug, we fix it, we update the app, and you certainly want to make sure you're keeping your app up to date in order to make sure you're getting all the most latest bug fixes as well. Sometime in March, towards the end of March, we will be dropping support for iOS 14. So iOS 14 was released over 3 years ago, and we're dropping support for it so that we can begin to implement some of the latest and greatest features that are offered to us by the Apple platform. So definitely check with your reps and identify if you have any reps who are using an older version of iOS and have them update their devices. Every device that you have that currently runs Engage can be updated to either iOS 15 or iOS 16 with no problem. So you will not have to buy new iPads once we drop support for iOS 14. It's a very simple upgrade. You'll also be receiving email updates from our marketing team to remind you a couple of times over the next month that we will be dropping support for iOS 14. So give you plenty of time to update those iOS operating systems.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim. Very important to remember to update our apps. I am guilty of not always keeping my iPad up to date, so I appreciate your reminders. All right. I know our Q&A box has been hopping during the course of this Engage Classroom. I want to leave some time if anybody has any additional questions. Okay, we have one that came in through the chat. So Alex, I believe this is for you. You mentioned adding a custom icon. So what's the best way to do that? What format should that file be in?
Yeah, so you want to use a transparent PNG, and basically what Engage will do is it'll take whatever's in the PNG and make it a solid color. So as long as there's transparency, right? Like if you got a question mark with a transparent background, it wouldn't matter if the question mark was like a rainbow. We'll take that and tint it on one solid color, and then let the background be transparent. So if you uploaded a PNG that wasn't transparent, you would get like a rectangle. That would not be great.
Okay, so for all icons that you're uploading, transparent PNG, so that way it will be the correct color based on your theming, and the background will disappear.
Perfect.
Great. Do we have any other questions before we let you go for the day?
There was a question about how to move media from an existing button to a hotspot, or
Yeah.
from a hotspot to something existing. And we do have there's a really cool feature that lets you copy and paste in action. So if you had a hotspot, one of the old hotspots, what you'd want to do is convert it to freestyle. Then you can copy the action from that hotspot and you can paste it onto paste it onto an object. And that way you don't have to worry about finding your media and retyping everything. You get the exact same pop-up or whatever you had.
Great.
Just without any hotspots at all, which is super cool.
Great. So it is possible to convert everything. And again, if folks have questions about that, definitely reach out to our support team. We are here to help you through this transition. Looks like our last question that's just come in is, will there be more QuickStart templates? I think, Jim, this is probably for you.
Yeah, we're actively working on a couple right now. We're looking at a digital leave behind QuickStart template. So a very similar idea, but instead of appointment confirmation, it would be something that you could leave after the appointment. We're also working with a couple of our key manufacturers to create some QuickStart templates. So do keep your eye out if you're a member of a dealer network. Do keep an eye out for some QuickStart templates coming soon to support that content.
Great. And we do have a question that just came in. Do you have a help menu or a library to help with all the new features? Throw that to Alex. Do we have a help library for folks, or a way to get some help there?
Yeah. So if you're ever inside Engage on desktop, there is a help menu, and if you go up to the top there, you can get the release notes, which will give you the little features in the current one. And if you go to the help and then choose the support option, you'll go to our knowledge base, which is also available at kb.engage.io. And that has an announcement section, which I believe has all of the release notes and all the latest new features.
Yes,
all of our
and
previous.
Not to blow our, I will brag a little bit, since Alex is being modest here, but we also do put lots of demos of our new features on our YouTube channel as part of the Engage 101 series and other feature announcements. Alex does a great job with demoing them on there. So if you ever
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, if you ever want to see something new in action, check that out. Jim, we do have a question that came in about time-stamping buttons. This is very outside my wheelhouse, so I would wonder if you could help us out with answering it. It says, can you time-stamp the buttons? For example, if a rep pushes a button, like start, stamps the time at 5 p.m. and then pushes a button to end it.
Yeah, absolutely. We currently do that within our product. So if you go to your analytics, if you go to the analytics section within the Teams console and go to our sessions report, in that session report, you're going to see it's essentially a virtual ride along with your reps. So you see when they started the presentation, when they started a section, when they viewed a page, when they viewed another page, when they viewed another page. Now, if they happen to tap on a button, you're going to see an event in there called View Button, and it will give you the timestamp when it started, and will tell you how long they were on that particular button. So if it was a media modal and they tapped the button, the media modal opened for 30 seconds, you would see that they viewed the button for 30 seconds. I would suggest if you'd like some assistance with that, is to reach out to your account manager and just ask for a demo of the sessions report within Teams Analytics, and I'd be happy to go over that with you and show you exactly how that timeline lays out and how you can identify when your users tap on buttons.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim, for helping us out there. All righty. Do we have any other questions that have come in? I don't think we have. It looks like Alex is answering some questions in the Q&A. Thank you, Alex, for helping out there.
Yeah, I think the question is the most current version of Engage for iOS is 5.16.1, and for desktop it is 2.23.0.
Great. That's information I did not know either. So thank you for having that at the tip of your fingers. Wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We're really excited to be able to roll out great features like the QuickStart Customize and button styles and actions updates to you. Again, if you have any questions about these new features or about any existing features that you feel like you want to learn more about, feel free to reach out to success@ingage.io or reach out to your customer success manager or account manager. Our team is always here to help you, to answer questions, to make sure you're really getting the most out of the Ingage platform. Stay tuned for some more updates as we continue to roll out QuickStart templates and QuickStart presentations. We will be putting them in the content marketplace. They'll be included in our product emails. So just make sure you're subscribed to those and continually opening those to get the latest information. Once again, thank you so much for being here today. We're really excited to be able to keep bringing you fresh features. Have a great one. This will be up on YouTube within the next 24 hours. So if you have any friends you'd like to share it with, stay tuned.